Hi, my name is Paula Guilfoyle and I am author and presenter of the Excel courses on the excelclub.com. So what we're going to look at in today's example is a dynamic HLOOKUP. And we're just going to prepare the data as we did in the actual article. So I've got the months going across the top and I've got our sales reps coming down the row here. And we're going to fill these cells in here with some random data. So I'm going to highlight all the cells and say random, Randbetween, and this is looking for a bottom number and a top number. The bottom number being the lower number and the top number being the higher number. So let's, for this example, put in 1,000 for the bottom number and 2,000 for the higher number. Close the bracket, and if we press Control and Enter, because we've highlighted all of the cells, the formula will populate in all of the cells. Now, what is a HLOOKUP formula? Well, what a HLOOKUP formula will do is it'll come across the column or across the row, go across the columns or across one particular row until it finds a particular criteria. It will then move down by the number of rows that you actually specify. So it's very much like the HLOOKUP formula. So let's start the formula so you can see what I'm talking about. So HLOOKUP. And what it's looking for is our lookup value. So we're going to look up May, and because it's text, I've put it in inverted commas. The next thing it's looking for, and you can see your screen tip changing there, is your table array. So this is the table in which you want to look up the data. So we're going to look it up in this table of data here. Now our row index number. So how many rows down are we looking for? Well, let's say we're looking for Amber sales in May. The first row is the first row highlighted, even though this cell A1 is blank. So she is going to be in 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows down. So we'll put in 4 for 4 rows down, and we want an exact match. So we'll pick false for exact match, and I'll hit Control and Enter, and you will see now it's pulled in Amber sales for May. Now when I hit Enter, you may also have noted that these cells here changed. So let's fix the value of these. So what I'm going to do is copy, and then I'm going to paste values. So the formula is gone. So when I do my HLOOKUP, it's not going to change the values in these cells. So let's just say now that this sheet of data is sent to you. It's an automatic update from a system, and a new employee starts. And when the new employee starts, they come in up here and it moves all the cells down. So let's put in a new employee, and let's also fill this with some data. And again, we'll use the Randbetween function, and the bottom being 1,000 and the top being 2,000. And we'll press Control and Enter. And then I'm going to copy them, and I'm just going to paste values. So now when we look down at May's sales, the 4th row down is now Sally. So we've actually got Sally's sales. So our HLOOKUP is not valid. It's not working anymore. So what can we do to change this? Well, we can combine the HLOOKUP, and you can also combine the VLOOKUP with the match function. And what does the match function do? Well, the match function returns the relative position in a list. And the list is a predefined list. So let's say, for example, in our list of employees here, and our whole table of data starts with A1 and goes all the way across to M6. So in our list of employees, we're going to start in cell A1, and if we were to match down to find the relative position in a list, Linda is the second relative position from these cells selected here. So let's just look at the match function for a second. So equals match. And the first thing it's looking for is a lookup value. So let's say in this case, our lookup value is going to be Sally. Our lookup array are these cells here from cell A1 to A6, and our match type is going to be exact. And we will see that Sally is the 4th position in the list, even though it's only the 3rd name, because we've gone from cell A1 down. So how can we combine this with our HLOOKUP? Well, in our HLOOKUP, This figure here is our row index number. That identifies how many rows down we must count. So if we replace this with our match function, so instead of putting in the 4, we'll put in match, and it's looking for our lookup value. So let's say Amber, and let's say our lookup array is cells A1 to A6, or you could take the whole of the A row, and our match type is going to be exact, and we can close that bracket, and that then brings us back to our HLOOKUP formula. And if we hit enter, now Amber cells are pulling in correctly. Now let's insert another row. And when we insert the row, even though Amber's relative position has moved, the value has remained the same. So our HLOOKUP formula is now a dynamic HLOOKUP formula. What I have skipped forward now and done is made this formula even more dynamic. So you can select an employee, and I have inserted data validation to select an employee. You can then select the month that you require, and our sales will automatically pull in. And I have done this by the use of this formula here. And the formula is if error. So if error, then we want blank. So that means if we have not pulled in anything into these cells, we're just going to have blank instead of an error. It is then going to go through the actual HLOOKUP formula. It's going to look up and a D10, which is the selected month. It is then looking it up in the particular table. It's then using the match function to find the relative position in the list for the selected employee, and it will return the value for you. So you can take that formula one step further once you know how to use it. I hope you found this article useful. My name is Paula Guilfoyle, and it's been a pleasure showing you this today.